Although there are fewer and fewer outright dictators in Africa, the same faces have occupied the same elected presidential posts, despite the fact that elections are held across the continent. Elections are being used by African leaders to legitimize themselves and build international support, or at the very least, to ensure the rest of the world tolerates them. The tyrants are tolerated with unease but assured tolerancy. Despite election after election, the majority of opposition parties have been denied the opportunity to form governments, although there are notable exceptions such as Ghana and Zambia. Several African leaders have resorted to political dynasties, with presidents grooming their sons for power. Here are the top 5 first sons groomed to succeed their fathers and current presidents in Africa. And remember to subscribe on my channel and click on that bell icon so you can always get a notification every time I upload a new video. At number 5, we have Denis Christos Sassou Nguesso, the son of Congo Brazzaville President Denis Sassou Nguesso. President Denis Sassou Nguesso has been the president of the Republic of Congo since 1997, but it's critical to remember that he previously served as president from 1979 to 1992. He established multi-party politics in 1990, but was stripped of executive powers by the 1991 National Conference, leaving him as a ceremonial head of state. He stood as a candidate in the 1992 presidential election, but was defeated. Sassou Nguesso became an opposition leader for 5 years before returning to power during the Second Republic of Congo Civil War, in which his rebel forces oust President Pascal Lasuba. Congo Republic has elections, but they are merely symbolic. Presidential elections have always been marred by vote rigging. After more than 40 years in power, there is no sign of the 77-year-old president losing his appetite for wielding power himself. His son Denis Christos Sassou Nguesso, on the other hand, is being groomed slowly but steadily. Denis Christos is a member of parliament in the family's hometown of Hoyo. His father appointed him as a cabinet minister, sparking media speculations that he's planning a dynasty succession. In 2018, Denis Christos released a 47-page book outlining his vision for the 7.8 billion economy's future. In it, he advocates for increased access to education and training, healthcare, and higher standards of living through policies that promote stronger growth and job creation. Over the years, Denis has attracted some negative attention, spending heavily on luxury goods and accommodations abroad. Global Witness reported that the Congolese president's son apparently stole over $50 million of state funds for his personal gain, and in 2016, his assets were seized in France and in the United States. At number 4, we have Frank Biya, son of Cameroon's president Paul Biya. Frank Biya has never run for public office and is not identified with any official organization chart. However, he regularly appears on the front pages of Cameroonian newspapers, where he is viewed as a possible successor to his father, 88-year-old Paul Biya, who has served as Cameroon's president since 1982. As most dictators, his father, Paul Biya, consolidated power through a staged attempted coup in 1983, in which he managed to eliminate all of his opponents. Frank Biya has kept a relatively low profile. Most Cameroonians know him as a businessman and entrepreneur. However, last year, a group of businessmen, politicians, and government allies formed the Frankists Citizen Movement for Peace and Unity of Cameroon, led by businessman Mohamed Rahim. They were calling on Frank Biya to run for president in the next general elections in 2025. The 50-year-old Frank Biya is nevertheless careful not to reveal any of his intentions. He's a very discreet and he avoids the media and has never given any interview. Biya's entourage is also careful to deny any rumors about his presidential ambitions. At number 3, we have Mahamat Idriss Déby, son of late Chadian President Idriss Déby. Is a Chadian army general born in 1984. As Chad's de facto president, he is the chairman of the Transitional Military Council. Mahamat Déby is the late Chadian President Idriss Déby's son. On 20th April 2021, he took over as acting president of Chad after his father, Idriss Déby, was killed in action while commanding troops in the northern Chad offensive. In 1991, Idriss Déby was elected president of Chad. He was re-elected every 5 years until his death in 2021 for a total of 30 years in power. Mahamat Déby now leads a 15-member Transitional Military Council, CMT, that will rule for the next 18 months. Mahamat Déby began his military education education at Chad's joint grouping of military schools. He later received training in France at Aix-en Province Military School. Upon his return, he was enrolled in various army trainings, which led to his appointment as Deputy Commander of Infantry Groupment. Muhammad Dabi was later promoted to the rank of Major, laying the foundation for his current position. At number 2, we have Muhoozi Kainerugaba, son of Uganda's President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. President Yoweri Museveni has ruled Uganda since capturing power in 1986. In the mid to late 1990s, the West praised Museveni as part of the new generation of African leaders. However, Museveni's presidency has been marred by his involvement in Congo Wars, the Rwandan Civil War, and other Great Lakes region conflicts, the Lord's Resistance Army Rebellion in northern Uganda, which caused a humanitarian crisis. We have seen constitutional amendments that abolished presidential terms in 2005 and the presidential age limits in 2017. Museveni's rule has been labeled dictatorial. The press has always been subject to the authority of the government. In the last 25 years, no Ugandan election has been found to be free and transparent. On January 16, 2021, Museveni's appointed Electoral Commission declared him as the winner with 58.6% of the vote, despite numerous videos and reports of ballot box stuffing, over 400 polling stations with 100% voter turnout, and human rights violations were reported. At 77, it would be fair to say that Museveni is thinking about Uganda after him, and who better than his son, Lieutenant General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, would be the ideal successor. In Uganda, a social media campaign is currently promoting General Muhoozi Kainerugaba as a potential governing party candidate for the next election in 2026. In 2019, Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni promoted his son, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, to Lieutenant General, the country's second highest rank in the army. General Sejusa, Uganda's then coordinator of intelligence agencies, claimed in 2013 that individuals opposed to the alleged Muhoozi project were being targeted for assassination. In a letter linked and published by private media outlets Daily Monitor and Red Pepper, Sejusa claimed that President Museveni and his closest family members were plotting to install Muhoozi as president. Let us take a quick look at Muhoozi's progression through various ranks and positions within the army and the state structures since 2012. 2012, promoted to Brigadier, commanding Special Forces. 2016, promoted to Major General. 2017, appointed Senior Presidential Advisor for Special Operations. 2019, promoted to Lieutenant General. Lieutenant General Muhoozi Kainerugaba is currently the commander of Land Forces, UPDF. At number 1, it's Theodoro Ngema Obiang, son of Equatorial Guinea's president, Theodoro Obiang. Theodoro Obiang Ngema Mbasogo has been president of Equatorial Guinea since 1997, when he successfully staged a military coup. In 1982, a new constitution was drafted under his leadership, and Obiang was elected president. The new constitution also granted and continues to grant Obiang broad powers, including the ability to rule by decree. Equatorial Guinea's vice president in office since 2012 is Theodoro Obiang's son, Theodoro Ngema Obiang, well known for his extravagant lifestyle. He has faced several international criminal charges and fines for alleged embezzlement and corruption. Theodoro Ngema Obiang is now 53 years old and a possible successor to his father, who has ruled Equatorial Guinea for the last 42 years. Theodoro Ngema Obiang is the second powerful man in Equatorial Guinea after his father, and also has been vice president for almost 10 years now. What better way of grooming your son to power than making him your second in command? That's all I had for you today. Thank you for sticking around till the end of this video. If you liked watching our content, please leave a like, a share, and subscribe to our channel. Peace.